You are now on video.
You're me now.
It's you always have the butterflies. You always have the butterflies when you go out there. I mean, it's opening day in the NFL. No different than when you were.
God, that was epic.
Here goes NFL total.
It was sitting there.
Intro. It's going to take another hour.
No.
welcome to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here, live from Raymond James Stadium in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business today, 37-20. I'm your host, Peter Blick, along with the great Jp Peterson. And, this is kind of what you wanted to see come out. It didn't necessarily start out the way you wanted it to because Baker misses a couple throws there, but overall, 4 touchdowns by Baker Mayfield. Impressive. 6 passes, I believe, all day long he missed. That offense looked good. I mean, really tough to really hate what the Bucs did today offensively.
It's tough to hate anything you saw today as a Buccaneers fan, except the injuries on defense. That'll be the major thing we look at in terms of a negative. But I thought as an opening salvo, and I don't want to hear how bad the Commanders are. This is the NFL, and any win is a big win in the NFL. And to put 37 points on the board in Liam Cohen's first game as the offensive coordinator is absolutely fantastic. Baker Mayfield was masterful in running this offense. I asked him afterwards if he had a lot of checks at the line, and he said, really, I have a lot of responsibility. I can do a lot of things, but Liam called such a good game that we were in the right sets most of the game.
Yeah.
And, you look at what the Panthers did under Dave Canales today, and I don't want to take any cheap shots at Dave Canales, but that was a very unimaginative offense that the Buccaneers had last year. And I thought they did, for the talent that they had, they did not put up enough points, did not score early enough. They got an opening drive for a score. They scored on their first 5 possessions. Now they got to be better in the red zone. They don't want to kick that many field goals, but
Correct.
When you're scoring consistently like that, you're controlling the game. At no point in this game did I think the Bucs were ever in any danger. They controlled the game. And don't forget the Commanders have 2 of the best defensive tackles in football. And I thought Graham Barton did a fantastic job in his first game as a Buccaneer. I mean, you look at 5 rookies from this draft class played significant minutes today. That's very, very rare. And you look at Graham Barton, I thought he did a great job at center. Chris Braswell on defense, and Tyke Smith. I don't remember any huge plays that they made, but I never remember saying, "Wow, that was on them."
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen McMillan was Jalen McMillan probably should have had 3 touchdowns today.
Agree. You missed
Baker
the one
missed
there.
him once.
Yes.
He had, you could say 4.
Right.
He missed him once, and then Jalen dropped one on the sideline that could have gone for 1. Then he had the one where he had his face mask pulled. He had 3 steps on him. That was going to be a touchdown as well. And then the one he could have had 4 touchdowns, but he ends up with 1, which was great. I put some money in my pocket.
Well, it did, and Bucky Irving was one of those guys also as a rookie contribution, as we've been talking about him ad nauseum the last couple months here on both of these shows. 9 carries for 62 yards. And once again, he shows the shiftiness. He shows the explosive nature, especially when he gets to that second level. And I got to tell you, talking to guys in the press box who are involved with the Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization, they're also impressed. And what a haul by Jason Light. And it just shows you, these guys, not only are they a part of those great programs like Washington and Oregon, but they're ready to come in right away and contribute. So open phone lines, Buccaneer fans, after the Bucs take care of business over the Washington Commanders 37-20, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. When is the last time the Bucs, JP, won 4 consecutive?
Never.
Right.
Never. They've never won 4 consecutive openers in franchise history. They've never been to the playoffs 4 times in a row, which, of course, they've done. They've never won the NFC South 3 times in a row, which they've done. Todd Bowles is putting a lot of new and franchise records on the board, and I thought Bowles coached a terrific game today defensively. Yes. They had answers when all their corners went down. Christian Izzian went out and played outside, which he did a fantastic job. Now, this is going to be an issue moving forward. They're going to be a little light at the corner spot depending on what happens. Zion McCollum went out with a concussion, so hopefully he can be back next week against Detroit. They're going to need him. I'm not sure what happened with Josh Hayes.
Yeah, and a big injury to him, and a scary situation there with Bryce Hall going out, having a cart. So that didn't necessarily look good. I tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines because we asked for phone calls here. What's your name? Where you calling from? You're on the Evolution in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is KR. How's it going there, JP?
What's up?
What's going on, KR? Give me your thoughts here. Impressive victory, the first one in the books. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns. I mean, what did you like about this performance today by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
In the famous words of Coach Bowles, it's exciting.
There you go. I got that. Here you go. There you go. Right there. That's our sound effect.
Now we know why he was so excited.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That was a hell of a performance by the Bucs, and they played a very, very stout game on all sides of the field, from offense, defense, and special teams. So it was very invigorating to see this offensive game plan that Coach Cohen put out there. And you can tell it night and day from Coach Canales now in Carolina. You can see a big difference in the field in the way that, and you can just see that confidence that Baker had on the field, and he just showing that he's comfortable being here now and being a captain and a leader of men. And he just showed in his performance today. He was just top notch. He was on his game.
A great point. We talk about this all the time on our show.
Yes.
Continuity wins in this league. And although you got a new offensive coordinator, I thought really distinguished himself today, Liam Cohen. I thought he called a terrific, varied game. You could see the difference in the schemes, the motions, what he was trying to do and accomplish on each and every possession, what the plays were meant to do in the red zone. Sometimes I would look at those Canales plays. I'm like, what are we even trying to do here?
Yeah.
But the comfortability that Baker has, especially with Mike Evans, those 2 touchdown throws, Baker admitted were not. Well, the first throw was fantastic against man-to-man coverage. The catch was fantastic. The ball placement was perfect. I mean, that's just – at that point, you're like, you can't defend that. And then the second one was just him saying, I trust you, Mike Evans. You're the corner has his back turned to me. I'm just going to throw it up, and you're going to catch it. And that's exactly what he did. But you could see that the comfortability that he has with Chris Godwin. I mean, Chris had, 8 or 9 catches today. And 8 of them went for first downs or touchdowns.
Yes.
I mean, and when and then you could see it. Okay, and as we were sitting up there in the press box, I'm like, they got Godwin 1-on-1, 3rd down. That's where he's going. Like Bake knows he's going to beat him because he's got the inside route. He's in the slot.
Yeah.
He's got a 2-way go, probably doing a lot of option routes, and he's going to separate. And then if you put the ball anywhere near him, he's going to catch the football. He's one of the best receivers in traffic that I think I've ever seen. He just always comes down with the ball.
I completely agree.
And KR, you know what you saw the return of, JP? Also, you saw the return of Tom Brady's favorite play there with the little screen pass. And I think the thing was also encouraging. We noticed this. Look, he's coming off 2 years off a serious knee injury. You saw also that explosive nature come out. So that's encouraging. I think encouraging things to come. I've said, throughout this whole process, Chris Godwin, if you have him on your fantasy football team, I don't think you can go wrong because
it sounds like he's back.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Yep.
He's back.
No question.
He is back, and he showed out. That was money plays for him on the field. And you looking at Mike, you can just tell that's your first ballot Hall of Famer right there as a Buccaneer weapon. That dude's he's money. He's just money.
Well, it's a great night from Mike, and
KR, thanks
well
for the call.
deserved.
Appreciate you.
You look at this. You look at this offense now, and one of the things I think is a big sub story of this game are the rookies, and I'll be talking about them a lot.
I know you will.
You had 5 that made a significant impact. I cannot remember a draft class where in their first game, by the end of the season, sometimes you'll get 5 to be, contributing. But for their first game, Graham Barton, I thought, played really well at center against Daron Payne. Those 2 defensive tackles are as tough as he's going to see.
Sure.
And I just talked with him in the post game, and I said, "How'd you feel physically?" I mean, sometimes you never know if you're going to be able to measure up physically in the NFL as a rookie. And he kind of put a smile on his face. He goes, "I felt a lot." I said, "I felt good. There were times I got beat, but for the most part, I felt like I belong." And
there was a big penalty that was called back, which the refs at the time tried to say that Barton was ineligible down the field. They called it back, screenplay to White. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Curtis from Newport Richie, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk.
You know what?
Yes.
I'm glad you just said that about that play that got called back, because I was like, listen, Rashard White, God, I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. He looked at like Brian Westbrook out there in that offense today, or Todd Gurley, whoever you want. That kid is a weapon. And
I
you know what?
like the Gurley
more,
comparison in the Rams offense.
Correct.
Yes.
Back in the day, you get him out on that screen pass, and he has a really nice vision, and he knows when to kind of wait for
and
that. Yeah.
Great feet.
Yep.
Great footwork. And that offensive line, it might not have been a perfect game, but man, the more chemistry they get, the more comfortability they get together. These guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
There was some gaping holes there today.
Gaping
holes.
That was the impressive thing about the line. And again, we've talked about it in the offseason, and we said, what's the most exciting thing about this rookie class? Was it Graham Barton? Well, why was it Graham Barton? Because he could solidify that line.
Yep.
And look, I think it's also Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gedeke, Brederson there.
No,
Cody.
it's all of them. It's all of them. Listen, your offensive line is a key.
Right.
I mean, your offensive line, I played offensive line. Your offensive line is like its own separate team. It's the team within the team.
Yeah.
Sets the whole table. Without that in the NFL, I don't care how good your skill positions are.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it in the Super Bowl right here with Patrick Mahomes. His offensive line just could not hold up.
I mean,
and the Bucs kept
did you see how bad Atlanta looked today?
Oh yeah, they did not look good.
Oh, wait, hold on. You mean the team that does not draft an offensive tackle instead drafts the quarterback of the future and everybody
or defensive end.
Right.
That's just like but also you have to look at teams like, and I know we're talking about the Bucs, but you got to talk about teams like Cincinnati who spent all that money on the offensive line and they look terrible today on their offensive line.
Well, it also goes to show you, and we talked about Camp Kumbaya here in Tampa, right? There was just nobody was bitching about money, nobody was holding out. They got all their stuff done before the season started. Nobody, even Tristan Wirfs without a contract was here. These other, I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on in some of these other camps, but good for them. But I don't care how good you are with Joe Burrow or anywhere else. You have all those distractions, and I see what happens with the 49ers as well. You have all these distractions. It's not. It hurts your ball club. The Bucs had none of that. And it's something I asked Baker and I asked Bowles about that. It's one thing to have a great offseason, but then you can still come out and lay an egg.
Yeah.
To put it all together, it just keeps that momentum going. It's like great offseason, great continuity, come out, kick ass first week. Now let's roll into Detroit and see if we can steal a win up there.
No, absolutely. And, again, Jaden Daniels, you go back to the defensive side because that was another big-time matchup.
Good.
He's good with running the ball, but as far as passing it,
that'll come.
That definitely needs to be improved. But overall, we knew that he was going to have that type of ability, and that was big today for the Bucs. Without Cansey, of course, without Logan Hall there, the two guys. Overall, I get it. They allowed him to have some big plays, have 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, 88 yards rushing.
Yeah.
But I think about 160 passing.
Yeah.
He missed some guys.
You'll take that all day long with the
yes.
defensive line. And we saw the appearance today, which was amazing. And maybe this can continue with JTS. JTS showed up. Wow.
Holy hell. Where did he come from?
I think he was listening to our shows.
Yeah. He had 1 sack call back, right? And then the other sack fumble. And then he made a nice play on the perimeter on Jaden Daniels to keep him from getting a first down as Vita Vea chased him out. I mean, think about this defensive performance. I mean, they allowed 21 points to Washington. Team that I think is going to be explosive. Held Terry McLaurin to 2 catches for 17 yards.
Yeah.
That kid can play. So I think overall this defense, especially with the injuries that they had and the injuries they had going in, did a hell of a job.
I think you're kind of concerned about the cornerback situation. You're going to check throughout the week if Zion McCollum is going to play. But Jamel Dean definitely stepped up today. You talked about it, shutting down a McLaren. We know the potential. We know that he can do that. He played inconsistent last year. In fact, I thought his best game was against the Lions. So maybe you're carrying over that momentum. But he has to definitely step up with all the injuries at that point. And you would think that either they go into their practice squad there or I don't know. Do they?
Yeah, I don't think Bryce Hall's coming back anytime soon.
No.
They quickly put an air cast on his ankle. So that did not look good. Josh Hayes, I'm not sure what happened to him, what his injury is. And then Zion McCollum was a concussion. So you would hope that he can come back from that, although they ruled him out pretty quick in this game. So that's a little bit of a concern because you're going to need all your corners next week against that Lions offense.
Lions offense, and
you want to get Cansey back too. He's a huge part of this.
Any concern about that? Because I was thinking
that's a re-injury.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It's the same. Is it the same calf? Hopefully, it's not the same calf. But if it is, could that be a lingering thing going forward? And you hope it's not. Right.
It's not good.
No.
I mean, that popped up at the end of the week, and I thought, wow, you need everybody when you're chasing around Jaden Daniels. So
right.
That worked out well, and hopefully get both of those guys back for next week because, and just in general, I'm so excited about this offense because I think this, we asked Chris Godwin at the end there. You've been on some good teams that average 30 points a game.
Sure.
And he's like, this team can be just as explosive offensively.
Yeah.
I obviously you had Brady at quarterback, but could anybody do better than Baker today? 146 quarterback rating, 4 touchdowns, 24 of 30, 289 yards, no picks. Thought he put the ball in danger maybe once.
Right.
But that was, had one near pick on the sideline. Other than that, I thought he played almost and some great escapes as well.
I was talking to Ira Kaufman, the sage at Tampa Bay there about this, and he said, look, he's not as mobile, he's not as athletic as you would like as a quarterback, right? But you don't necessarily have to be. What you have to be is a guy that's able, and that wind feels good. You have to be able to scale the pocket, be mobile enough to get out of trouble, and then live to fight another day.
Make plays on the move.
That's it.
And that's what he did tonight,
Eric,
multiple times.
Eric is on the line. Eric, I know you got something to say here. Bucs beat the Washington Commanders 37-20. Your thoughts? What's going on, buddy?
What's up, JP and Peter?
What's up, Eric?
Fabulous win, but the defense line played pretty good today. Not too bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I think some garbage points at the end. People will go, well, that happens. But overall, you have to be happy with the defense.
Some of those penalties with some BS, though. Some of those penalties with some BS today.
Yeah. I mean,
Eric, thanks a lot for the call.
You hold any team in this league to 21 points, you're doing a good job defensively.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, I'll take that every week, especially with this team. Offensively, you're going to win. If the defense holds them to 21, most weeks the Bucs should win.
Yeah.
I mean, I think their offenses, they should average at least 28 points a game, if not 30 points a game. Because they're so varied. This offense can get you in so many ways. They ran the football today for 112 yards. I think 3.7 yards per carry. Now, that doesn't sound great, but it's a hell of a lot better than 3.1, which is what they've done the last couple of years. So, and I think it's going to get better. They lost a lot. They lost a few yards that probably affected their average more and had a couple of kneel downs at the end. I think it was closer to more effectively about a 4.2 yards per carry average. If you really look at it, if you take away, some of the kneel downs, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I thought they had good balance.
Yeah.
I thought the play calling was fantastic. There was a lot of open receivers. Baker was really good in his accuracy. Obviously, Mike making great plays and Chris being back to his all-pro self.
Former self,
where just, he just gets open all the time. Love this guy.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I don't think anybody can hear them. Right. Stop the talk here. You're on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, the Sports Web, in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show. Open phone lines after your Bucs beat the Commanders 37-20, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Lots of comments here. I know you want to get to them. I have to lean down here, I guess.
Wow,
so
look at all the comments, bro.
I'm telling you, KR says, first dub of the season. I love this team. Roger Shue, first my contract says so. Okay, I don't know. Scott Broadway, hey, Peter. Christopher Cole, Baker is the MVP. I mean, listen, I asked a lot of fans about this, and I said, who do you think is going to be the MVP of this Bucs team this year? And it's easy to say Mike Evans, easy to say Levante David. I think it's even easier to say Baker Mayfield. And the reason why is because he's familiar with Liam Cohen's offense. He seems very comfortable. On top of it, the offensive line is improved, and they have a plethora, Leo word, of weapons on the outside. So Baker Mayfield definitely making a case for MVP of this team. I get it, it's early, but if he continues to play like this, not only could he be MVP of this team, he could be MVP of this league.
Well,
four touchdowns.
Four tutties. No picks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's he on pace for? Is that for 68 touchdowns?
68 touchdowns.
Damn, let's go, dog.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
68-0. Okay.
Let's go out to this guy right here.
Acknowledge me.
Let's go out to the tribal troll right there, Mr. Roger Shue from Newport Richie. Welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show.
Peter Blake and JP.
Yes.
All right, Peter.
Yes.
I'll admit I was wrong.
Say it again for everybody out
there. I'm
there.
Going to pay your bet
okay.
tomorrow night live on air.
So there you go. I won a little bit of money. Probably JP won a lot more shekels than I did.
Hey, we gave you the player
Peter,
props
I
on
was
Thursday.
wrong. I will pay your bet live
How much-
on air.
What did you bet?
It wasn't much, man. It's like $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
And it's better than losing.
How much did you win today?
I won a lot. I won I think I won $700 on player props.
$700.
Well,
Look
we gave you the player props on Thursday's Jp Peterson
You
show.
did.
And if I would just stick to Bucs player props and not bet everything else,
JP,
I'd
you
be
should have took the Bears.
I should have took them. I did not take the Bears.
You didn't take the Bears
I
today?
did not. Well, and we had a lead. Jesus, we had a nice lead against the Bears today, but we couldn't finish.
Yeah,
I say we because that's who I bet on. Yeah, and a nice 4-team parlay that would have paid me another $500, and all 4 of my teams were winning at halftime. And the team that cost me, the only favorite I had in the group, the Bengals.
Well, there you go.
The Bengals.
Bengals, yes, absolutely. We got
To hell with you, Cincinnati.
TJ Reeves, the media icon, coming on with us right now.
And he brought us food. Too.
Yes,
That's
it looks like he
fantastic.
did
Thank
bring
you,
us
bro.
some food, so that's
Thank you,
always good.
Chipotle.
Roger, anything else really quick? I know you're a Bears fan. What did you think?
That's it, man. I just wanted to come on live and admit I was wrong, and I will be paying you tomorrow night live.
Stand up, dude.
I love it, man.
Stand up, dude.
Appreciate you. We acknowledge you here, Mr. Roger Shue. Open phone lines if you want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and that impressive victory over the Washington Commanders,
Come on in,
37-20. The media icon, get his mic. You go ahead and get his mic there. Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network.
Gentlemen.
Yes. What's going on?
Your thoughts, your overall thoughts on
Yes.
this.
In the words of Nuke LaLoosh from Bull Durham, winning sure beats losing. Here's another opening day win for this team. 4 times in a row, 3 times in a row under Todd Bowles, second straight year with Baker Mayfield and a lot of the pieces back. And look, it's a game. If they had lost the game, I would be saying the same thing and will be saying the same thing, which is it is a game. It is not the season that you won the first game. But, of course, you want to get off to a good start.
Yep.
You want to do some things well. We saw field goals early on in the game that we're going, is that going to come back to haunt you, that you're not getting 7 and you're settling for 3? As it turns out, that didn't matter as much because you got 7 and you got 7 more and you got 7 more.
Yeah.
I will say this. I realize level of competition. Washington's not supposed to be very good, but there are some teams that are going to be on the Buccaneers schedule who were looking at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan and Rashad White and Bucky Irving and didn't even see much of Cade Otton or Trey Palmer, et cetera, et cetera. And it looks good. It looks good for early on in the year. That's what I saw.
It does. And then you go back to Bucky Irving here, because I remember when they drafted him, you said 25 years, a clone of Warrick Dunn. And I continue to go back to that. People, well, comparisons are asinine, but you can definitely see some Warrick Dunn there
And
with the shiftiness.
He may have a more explosive first step than Warrick had. But similar build. He reminds you of Warrick Dunn, and Warrick Dunn had a good career here in the late 1990s. I know we're going back for a while. For those of you that are Gen Z and under 30 years old, YouTube up some Warrick Dunn at Florida State and with the Buccaneers, you'll see what we're talking about. And when he put the foot in the ground right back here in the fourth quarter and took off down this sideline right here, I thought that was 88 and out the gate. I thought that was 70 or 75 yards, but they had a safety that kind of slowed him down on the sideline. So
he made a move. My favorite part of Bucky's night was his 8-yard catch he had over here, where it was just a dump down to him, and he was making it because the linebacker coming up to him. He was making a move before he caught the ball, and then he snatched the ball. He was already and he evaded the first guy, and I was like, "Damn, how the hell you do that?"
Yeah.
He's special.
Yeah, and credit Baker Mayfield for getting them into the right play over and over and over again. 2 plays in the huddle. You guys have talked about this.
Yes.
Get them into the right play. Todd Bowles said that to me on Buccaneers Radio after the game. Again, I'm at a disadvantage. I don't know how much you guys saw and heard in the press conferences. I know you were there. I don't know what was said in those, but Todd Bowles said to me, he got us in the right play over and over and over again in Liam Cohen's offense, a subtle little thing that helped. Can we talk for a second about number 13, Mike Evans?
Is he any good?
I mean, it's only a game this to start his 11th season.
Right.
But he ain't lost a step. He's still getting by people, and he's getting absolutely mugged on the first touchdown catch, and it doesn't matter.
What did I say right as they were lining up, Peter, up there in the box? What did I say on that play?
You said Evans.
Mike's one-on-one on top.
Yep, one-on-one with top. He's going to
it.
get it. And for the people who say he doesn't go after the ball, he doesn't he doesn't do enough to catch passes.
Who said?
There's been people out
How
there.
drunk are they?
What moron is saying that?
Oh, there's
11
some
years
people-
in, and he's about to match Jerry Rice, all things being equal, as the only 2 receivers ever to have 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Correct.
If it happens. But I'm not saying again that it's everything, but that was scary today to watch what he can do to take the top off the defense. And you're right, because Baker said that to me after the game. He said, we rarely get him one-on-one in key situations, and that was a one-on-one, and we knew that was a shot to him, and he dropped it in there. And it wasn't, it was the first half. It wasn't everything, but it kind of set the tone as the game went on.
Talk about Chris Godwin, because we kind of noticed this, and it was a good thing. Was that back to the old Tom Brady play there with him in the slot. You get the screen, but the encouraging thing, I believe, is when you see that explosive nature. 2 years coming off that knee injury. Is that what you saw on the field?
Well,
there?
and that's what you guys have harped on a couple of times. You said it may take another year before we see a similar Godwin. I'm going to go to the play right back there, Buccaneer fans watching us here on the Jp Peterson show and the Sports Web, is right back here, right in front of me, because he put a double move down around the goal line on that Redskin player. He is such an effective route runner. He knows where the sticks are. He knows where the pylon and the end zone is. He blocks like a madman. That is a complete football player in Chris Godwin. Fun to watch. And then we get to Jalen McMillan, who has a play in the first half right back there that he'd love to have back, where he didn't come up with the ball. But then down there, you can't see it on camera. It's kind of the same play. Double move, got wide open. He
could have had 4 tonight.
This is going to be a lot of fun if it keeps up and you stay healthy and you protect number 6 with the weapons that they have. And Chris Godwin with the assist on Jalen McMillan's touchdown because he put the ball down on the ground.
Yeah.
And Godwin went over and picked it up. And McMillan said to me a little while ago on Buccaneers radio, he goes, "It's my bad." And he goes, "I got to tell you, Chris has been saying to me over and over again, stop putting the ball down after you catch something in the end zone in practice, because you're going to do it in a game." And now I did it in the game, and luckily he came over and got my rookie touchdown ball.
It was a great performance by the offense. I don't think you could ask for anything more. What did you see defensively out there, except a lot of guys going off in carts and limping off?
It's bad in the secondary. They were literally down to 3 DBs, and Christian Izzian has never played outside corner going all the way back to like high school. Right. He's played the slot or played as a safety. And if you have a criticism, they let Jaden Daniels get out of the pocket, get around contained too many times. Yes. That's going to be emphasized over and over again. And this league is changing. There are guys that are going to take advantage of that if you continue to do it. Now, he's special. I mean, he's quick with that first step. He's elusive, but we knew that was going to be one of their big keys, which was get him around the end, get him around the edge, and let him make plays. So if you have a criticism tonight, they didn't do a very good job of that. Other than that, the Commanders Washington could not run the ball. He couldn't stand in the pocket and do much downfield with throwing the ball. Game might have been different. Shoulda, coulda, woulda if he put some touch on the ball to McLaurin early on in the first half. He had him. He had beaten Dean. He had him. That was a shot play. They missed it. And then from then on, the Buccaneers controlled the game, controlled the clock, and put it away. We can't emphasize enough. Veteran team with a lot of talented players. They are young, but they have a lot of veteran players that have won the Super Bowl and know how to win. Yes, and Levante David said to me after the game, I am taking 4 or 5 guys under my wing on the field, on the practice field, on the sideline, on what to do. Tyke Smith got a holding call in the secondary. He walked over, put his arm around him, and I think part of that, I mean, I'm obviously not privy to it, is know the situation. If the quarterback is rolling out to the right, stop grabbing the guy and give them a chance to call it. Yeah. But when he's 50 yards away from the play, you just got to learn from that in the NFL. And so, some of it for Braswell, Bucky Irving, Barton playing,
5 rookies tonight.
Playing the rookies, McMillan. They are not used to the speed. I mean, you can talk about the SEC and the Pac-12 and what you're not used to the speed and everything flying at you in the NFL until you get out and do it full speed a couple of times. So this is a work in progress for some of the younger.
And I think a guy here, and we're on with TJ Reeves, the media icon of the Buccaneer Radio Network. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the great Jp Peterson of the Jp Peterson Show here live after the Bucs beat the Commanders 37-20. JTS showed out.
How about that?
We saw that, and it's
off
a big,
the milk carton.
It's a big year.
Screen.
It's a big year for him, TJ. What did you see there on field level.
I mean, he got the one sack. Again, they got around him. They got around Diaby probably more than what they would have wanted, but clearly the Commanders could not throw the football. The Buccaneers, when he tried to stay in the pocket and read the defense, there was not much hope there of that. So work in progress with Tryon Shoyinka, Diaby on the outside, Anthony Nelson. Didn't see, again, you're at an advantage. You guys are up high. You're seeing replays. I didn't see a lot of Braswell in that game very much. But, again, he's getting used to NFL. He's getting used to NFL speed and behemoth guys that can block him, et cetera, et cetera. So there was a lot to like tonight, and you got room for improvement with some of the younger guys.
All right. Thank you, partner. I know you got to get home to your lovely family. Attaboy.
Anytime you guys need me, we'll take the win.
See you Tuesday on my show.
Keep up the great work with all of this. That's history. We were here for history. They've never won 4 games in a row, 4 opening days in a row.
Yeah.
The only previous time they had won 3 in a row, 79, 80, and 81 with those guys that are up there, McKay, Doug Williams.
Saw Doug Williams today. Doug Williams was in the press box.
He was walking around.
Yes.
I thought that was
Doug
him.
Williams was here.
Doug.
So that's the last time you had won 3 times in a row on opening day. This is the first time ever 4 times in a row opening day. And for whatever slings and arrows that were being made about Todd Bowles being the head coach, he's the only Buccaneer coach now ever to have 3 opening day wins in a row.
You know what he thinks about
good
that?
Starts.
It's exciting.
There you go.
It
It
is
is exciting.
Thanks,
It is,
partner.
all right, so there you go.
Appreciate
TJ Reeves, the media icon right there. You got JC Allen in the back of
In the
Sports
bullpen.
Illustrated. Do you want to get come on
on
over
in.
here? You've been
Cast
on
the
the sports
thousands.
web. You
Cast
you
the
did this
thousands.
before. How you doing?
Guys, how we doing today?
Well, doing great. The Bucs win there 37-20 over the Washington Commanders. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got really excited about what you saw from the offense, right?
Yeah.
Even with the running game not kind of picking up until later in the fourth quarter, you're going up against Jonathan Allen and Darren Payne. Those are 2 of the best defensive tackles in the league and 2 of the best linebackers in the league, and Frankie Louvo and Bobby Wagner. But there was enough there to see that got you excited. There was some push in there. There was some horizontal movement. There were some gaps and cutback lanes being creative. So I think that gives you a lot of
112 yards.
112 yards, right? You know, Bucky obviously. What you saw in college is what you see on tape, and he's proven that to the preseason and now in NFL in a real regular season game against starting competition. I think there's a lot to be excited about the passing offense and Liam Cohen's just the general direction of this offense and his system as well. It's going to take some time to fully get it down, but so far we saw a glimpse of what it could look like, and it was a pretty dang good glimpse.
Any negatives on the defensive side that you saw?
Defensive side, it always hurts to lose people. You know, you lost 3 corners in a matter of a half. You know, and you're looking at if Josh Hayes can't go, if Zion can't go, if he can't clear concussion protocol. Obviously, you're looking like you're probably out Bryce Hall for a while. Now you're looking at undrafted free agent cornerback Tyreek Vanderburg to come in and start a game next week against Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
He should be good to go, I think, right?
I think he's going to be good to go. He's medically cleared, Tyreek Vanderburg, but still, he's an undrafted guy, and those are some of dynamic players that the league has to offer, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown. If anything, I think I heard TJ mention containing. You got to contain a little bit.
Jaden Daniels is going to do that to everybody.
Daniels looks like Michael Vick. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Like the closest thing. Better than Lamar, I think, with on the ground, at least faster. There's going to be times throughout probably the first half quarter of the season, he's going to tuck it and run a lot more than they're going to want him to. But with that speed and those legs, do it.
It's tough to beat, and you're exactly right. Keenan Isaac, do you think there's a possibility of elevating him? And you mentioned somebody in the press box. You threw it out there. You're stirring it up a little bit.
Maybe, I'm not sure if, he's got some familiarity with the system, was here last year. I don't know if that's the route that they want to go, bring him back. But I threw out a couple names, David Howard, Patrick Peterson. Those are some guys who are available.
Can't go wrong with Peterson.
You're not looking for a guy to be the guy, but you're looking for a guy now who can step in, especially when Zion comes back, and be that guy who can be the guy if the guy goes down. And you thought you had that with Bryce Hall, and we'll see how long he's out. Ankle injury, is it broken? I mean, he was in an air cast. It's carted off the field, so it doesn't look good, but we also, all of us held our breath when we saw Yaya Diaby go down and thought it was going to be something that was much worse than it was. So we'll wait to see. But Patrick Peterson is a guy who has, embraced that role as an older guy who will step in when he needs to and not necessarily be the guy that needs to start. So we'll see about Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson to kick the tires on any of those guys. Expect them to bring a bunch of cornerbacks in this week for tryouts.
And they're under the cap too, like $20-something million under the cap, so they can
now with all the expenses and practice squad and all that fun stuff.
Right. You've been high on JTS. I keep on going back to it. You were amazed by the performance today. I get it 1 sack, but he got some
1.5.
constant 1.5.
Should have been 2.5. There was
Right.
a penalty that nullified a second sack for him. Yeah, I think JTS has been. Yes, the sack numbers haven't been there. Yes, those things irritate you. He's a first-round draft pick. But again, to understand what you're getting from JTS, it's a complete package. You have to look at the complete package. And he was a 1-year production guy, missed the COVID year, came in, was behind JPP, playing out of position, 3-tech, then had Shaq Barrett go down his year that he was a starter. So now teams are paying more attention to him than they're not going to put an extra guy on Anthony Nelson. No disrespect to Anthony Nelson, but they're not going to do that. They're going to put it to this guy who looks like a G.I. Joe.
Right.
And then obviously, he loses his job to Yaya last year. And that's where you kind of like, okay, well, whatever. But he's consistently averaged 30 pressures. He's one of the best coverage outside linebackers in the league. And he's one of the best edge setters in the league. And all those things count and all those matter. And that's why you hear Bull say, I can use him as a chess piece and stuff like that. And to see him come out here in a contract year, he's going to get paid. Even without this, he's going to get paid. People take chances on first-round guys, and I don't know if the Bucs are going to be in the price range that they're going to want to pay him. But to see,
I don't think there's going to be a bidding war. Hold on now, buddy. Hold on now. I don't think there's going to be a bidding war for JTS. I don't think he's setting the edge to like a real boy. Like, calm down now. He had a good day. Let's hope it continues.
Even before this day, he was going to make about $7 million in the open market. That's just the kind of going rate for young edge rushers, right? Especially guys who are good in coverage, who are good at setting the edge, and can get pressures. Todd Bowles' defense. I asked Todd about this, or I asked Casey Rogers about this earlier this week. With the blitzing ability and the pressure that defenses know that's coming, does it make it harder for these guys to get these sack totals? And he said, yeah, we're not going to have. We would love to have a 10, 15 sack guy. Yeah, but we look at cumulative sacks. How many sacks do we have at the end of the year? Because we know how quickly these guys are going to get out of the ball because they know Todd is going to bring heavy blitzes. So good start for him.
Great start for him.
But we'll see.
And we need more from him.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of question you're going to ask Baker this week after the performance he had. Is he dangerous?
No more dangerous. He knows he's dangerous. No more.
Right.
Not until he starts sitting in the stands and calling it his house. No. Which after today, maybe he could do 4 touchdowns.
You can't get any better than that.
No, you can't. 24 for 30. I mean, you'll take that all day long.
We'll see. The offensive line, I think, definitely need to pick up a little bit. Obviously, again, Allen and Payne, who I mentioned, are really 2 difficult guys that you have to deal with. But Wirfs kind of surprised me, too. He got beat a few times by Clelin Ferrell, former Las Vegas Raiders top 10 pick that everyone was like, why are you picking him top 10?
One sack, he kind of ran it. It's going to be on him, but Baker kind of ran into it.
There was a play, too, on Rashad's big run down the side here that it was almost snuffed out by Clelin Ferrell. And then he got just driven by Jamin Davis into Bucky Irving on that.
He's not perfect.
No, that's amazing.
I'm like,
right?
what the hell's going on,
He's
Tristan?
human.
I mean,
He's
we're talking
human.
about 2 former first-round busts, and it's kind of alarming. You want to make sure that
He'll be fine.
I'm not worried about it.
It'll make him better because he'll look at that and get pissed.
I will say Luke Gedeke had a false start penalty or something like that, but he looked phenomenal tonight. He opened up that big Baker scramble, the hit that I brought it to you guys in there, the hit that he was able to put on the guy to kind of free him for that big scramble.
And that's just staying with it. Luke does a great job of that, because Baker moves around, and you have a quarterback that can move around like he plays alive. You got to stay alive.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a great job of that, and that was a huge play.
Offensive line, your thoughts on that revamp from last year to this year? You follow the team all the time. What did you see?
Better. I think better. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for them to all get in the same
I think
page.
way better.
I think obviously way better. You saw Barton out there. Even when he got beat, his recovery ability was good. I think Mock struggled a little bit. Bredesen struggled a little bit, especially when they were one-on-one against Jonathan Allen and Darren Payne.
Right.
But, again, so take it as a grain of salt. They're not going to they got, I think, a Liam McNeil next week. It was a good run stopper, but he's not these guys who are.
Did Baker get sacked, once?
Baker got sacked once, and it was kind of like a Baker sack,
Yeah, that was just I thought the line did a good job, and they opened up some gaping holes for the running backs. So.
Absolutely.
I think they're in a much better place this year, and as they continue to grow and continue to go, they're going to get even better. Remember, they have only had 1 series of competitive snaps together against backups in Miami. This was their first time a full game, and you saw them kind of get better as the game go on, and you can see the proof of that in what Rashad and what Bucky were able to do as the game went on. So
the only problem we're going to have with this offensive line is paying them, because you're going to have to pay Gedeke. He's become one of the best right tackles.
True.
They got to pay Gedeke now.
Yeah, and they got to have to pay Gedeke. They just paid Wirfs. Cody's not coming up for a while, but boy, I thought he played pretty good. We have to look at the tape and Barton. And this is the beautiful thing about it. They've got a young line. Mm-hmm. You look at it, this line could stay together for another, 5, 8, 10 years.
Right.
And that, I'm telling you what, when you can get that kind of consistency going with an offensive line and they're good and you can keep them together, that's just going to keep you competitive.
It's a good problem to have. And we always talk about the off season here about, is he going to pay this? And the Bucs organization, they always
figure it out.
They always find a way to pay their own
guys.
And
the good thing is they're not paying Mike Evans $39 million.
Right.
They're not paying Baker Mayfield $60 million. You see these contracts going
Dak
out.
Prescott.
And you're like,
holy kidding.
I saw Doug Williams up there and who couldn't get $100,000 from freaking Hugh Culverhouse. And I'm like, bro, $60 million. He's like, he goes, and that's for 1 year. I'm like, I know, 230 guaranteed.
What a travesty.
They've got guys coming up, this year they'll have Chris Godwin, who is going to have a monster year. And if it wasn't on display this game, get ready for it. And then, KJ Britt, who I thought did really quietly, had a really strong game. He doesn't have the speed that he's going to be able to chase down a guy like Jaden Daniels, but his smarts and his instincts from watching film, he knows where to kind of go and where to be there before the play.
Unlike his predecessor.
They got to pay him this offseason. They got to potentially pay Chris Godwin. If Ben Bredesen does well, they might have to pay them. And then the third-year guys come in.
No, Elijah Klein's taking that
Elijah Klein is going to be
he's going to be the star left guard by midseason prediction.
I think so too.
We'll see. But then the third-year guys come up, and now you're talking K-Dot and Rashad.
We'll worry about that later.
It's a good problem to have.
Zion McCollum.
It's guys we actually want to pay,
right?
Which is a
the
good
cap
thing.
goes up every year.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, JC. Thanks, brother.
JC,
appreciate it.
Proud of you, brother. Proud of you, brother. Yes, sir. JC,
go write your 12 stories that you're going to put up tonight.
Mister. Great job, JC. JC Allen there.
We have any questions or just?
We got all kinds of questions. I mean, I got a.
We got comments. By the way, our thanks to our sponsors at the Jp Peterson Show, the Jeeves Law Group, who helped you bring this as well. JEEVESLawgroup.com, Italiano Insurance, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Extravaganza Productions, the Geddes Gordon Group. I hope I don't forget anybody. The Golden Diamond Source, of course, Julie and Steve Weintraub. We love you. Thank you for
River
helping
Park, golf.
Rogers Park.
Top
Tracer, that's right. TSA.
I wrote it down. So there you go. Yes.
And our great folks at Third Generation Plumbing.
Very nice.
If you need any AC or plumbing, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. John Rodriguez Group, big Buccaneer fan. I'm sure he was here today with his son watching all this. So go to the thirdgenerationplumbing.com if you need any AC or plumbing work. Great folks.
All right, to LFG, that was a great game, so we will play that Brady. Let's go out to Roger Shue. I'll be paying my bets live tonight, okay? Sweet win. Tim says great game, undefeated so far. It's just one. Let's go out to Alexander. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go ahead and fire the cannons.
Is that your dog?
No, it's not my dog.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that would be if it were my dog. My dog probably right now is watching this, shaking his head.
My dog.
My dog, yes. I'm now sold, and I can put faith in Baker. And that's what I want to keep that comment on there. I asked about this at the What the Buck tailgate today, a lot of fans. And I said, when Baker came in here, and there were a sect of fans that didn't really necessarily believe in him. And now you see the energy. Yeah, they wanted Trask. Right. Well, they got Trask at the end of the game after it was over with. Yeah. But Baker Mayfield, a lot of people believing in him.
And most of the national media, if you read between the lines or even on the lines, they'll say, Baker Mayfield will be holding the Bucs back.
Yeah.
With Falcons are the class of the NFC South because they have Kirk Cousins. He's better than Baker Mayfield. And I'm just laughing at this. I'm like, I said this a million times this offseason. Give me Baker Mayfield at, 28 years old?
29 years old.
Some 35-year-old coming off an Achilles tendon.
Right.
I mean, are you kidding me? Baker Mayfield. And then somebody else during this week, I think, on our show said, Baker Mayfield is an arrogant ass. And I'm like, you have not been paying attention.
Drew Brees said this. Yes, Drew Brees.
said Baker Mayfield was an arrogant ass?
He said he was arrogant and cocky. He did say that this week. I know there's
this
fans
week.
that,
He said
yeah,
that?
he did say that. Yes, Drew
Wow.
Brees. Yeah, and,
Wow,
and I think
that's strange coming from Drew, but we had fans say it. I'm like, you haven't been paying attention. I mean, if that may be the national perception of him from Oklahoma, but since he has been on this campus in Tampa, he has been nothing from day one. He has been a humble, benevolent leader and servant to his teammates, and they freaking love him. They will run through a freaking wall for Baker Mayfield. There's no arrogance. He was a absolutely genuine, authentic dude. I think they're all over this ball club, and that's what we say. These are guys you can root for. They have a great vibe about them. They're all the same kind of guys. There's no divas in this locker room. There's no me guys. It is a great collection. This was Camp Kumbaya, and they went out and they backed it up with a win in the first week. And it's, I asked Baker about that, and he said, yeah, it's good to have everybody back and all that, but this is the NFL. There are no easy ones. You got to go out and earn it. It's to go out and score 37 points. And believe me, they feel like they left a lot on the board today.
Sure.
With those field goals. So I'm anxious to see how this team looks next week at Detroit.
Well, at least Chase McLaughlin with the 56-yarder, by the way, is not hurt, and also added another field goal later on. Of course, you don't want to see field goals, but when your field goal kicker is coming into the game hurt and he booms a 56-yarder, leave no doubt he's your kicker. There's no kicking problems at the end of the day.
My fantasy general manager, our director, when I picked Chase McLaughlin as my kicker, he's like, I can't even find him on the list here. Like, who's this guy? What's his name? I'm like, he went 29-31 last year. Maybe you should know about him.
Maybe
Chase McLaughlin, a lot of 50-yarders. Yeah, he was fine tonight.
Good comment here from Rick on the Jp Peterson YouTube page here. Mike Evans is quarterback proof. He will always produce. The offense look fluid, not choppy like years past. Brady included. Agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
I do too.
Yeah, listen, Rick, you're absolutely he is quarterback proof. Just throw it up to him. But Baker made some great throws, I thought, today. I thought he made some really, really good throws. Nice layered throw to Palmer on a corner route right over here. It was a beautiful throw on third down. The throws to Godwin on third down, ball placement was absolutely perfect. The McMillan touchdown was fantastic. Another great throw. His
over the top.
His escapability, I thought, was fantastic tonight on so many levels. He was in control of this offense, had a nice run for a first down, and the enthusiasm that he got the whole crowd going with that first down signal. I can't love this guy enough, man. I cannot love Baker enough.
What you're talking about, though, is when he takes that helmet-to-helmet shot and the defender thinks he got the best of him, and Baker gets up and he shows why Jason Light said what he said, 0 to 10 on a prick scale. He's a 10 because he gets up and he goes, let's go.
Yes, he is.
He is. All right, good stuff there.
They love him.
We're live here from Raymond James Stadium after Tampa Bay beats the Washington Commanders 37-20. I'm Peter Blake along with Jp Peterson. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Other thoughts? Besides the food was good today. You had prime rib. We had some prime rib. Soft serve ice cream. That's always good.
Sunday bar up there.
My goodness.
With the toppings.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. That was outstanding.
That was outstanding. Yes. I know the sage of Tampa Bay, once again, Ira Kaufman, he was counting my plates.
Yeah.
They got to know that's the goal here.
And the hot dogs are really good.
They are. Let me go.
Buns,
let me go out to this guy.
You got all the toppings.
Damn it, Jim! What the hell is the matter with you?
Let's go out to Jim here. Jim, welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show.
Hey, great game, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
They played great.
Good broadcast, man. The only reason I can't pick all the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in my fantasy league because when bye week come around, I got to figure out what to move some people around.
That's true.
But I got Godwin and I got Mike Evans somehow because there's nobody picking nobody.
You got Evans and Godwin?
Yeah, I got them both. So I started them both today.
I'm telling you.
I want to get in your league, bro.
Yeah. Well, and my fantasy league, and by the way, we care about your fantasy football team here on both shows. We do. I had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Hill went off today.
You got those two?
I got both of them.
On the same team?
And I got Evans.
Jesus.
And I got Joe Burrow, who absolutely sucked today. But yeah. Hopefully.
Once he gets
I got two woke up, thank God.
Well,
So,
he did. He did. What did you see from this game today? What were you excited about with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team? You like this offense? You think they can do better? Go ahead and give your thoughts.
I like the big linemen getting meshed together and pushing everybody out the way. And they try to call a penalty. What's his name? The center?
Grant Barton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So luckily they looked at the tape and said, no, he wasn't out that far. So
yeah, I like the new replay assist that they use now when the refs blatantly blow calls like that.
Thank you, Jim.
I hate when refs are too engaged. You know, it's like they're looking to throw flag. Don't look to throw flags.
Like last night's game, USF and Alabama.
Let them tell you when it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Let the players tell you when it's a penalty. If he's 3 yards downfield, throw the penalty flag. He wasn't even downfield, so what the F are you looking at? How do you throw a flag in that instance? He's not even downfield. Like if it's a lineman and it's right on the edge, you're not making the call.
No.
Let him play.
Yeah.
For God's sake. If he's 3-4 yards down, throw the freaking flag. I get it.
Well, at least you could say they got the call right. And it didn't take that long a time. They got it wrong. They got it right. I mean, that's what it's all about.
No, the replay assist is I think the league is using that to tremendous effect. It helps, it helps adjudicate the game better, number one, and it helps it flow better. Just tell them you screwed it up. Fix it. Fix it now.
All right, let's go out to Brian Thompson, who, by the way, I believe is a Raider fan. He's taken notice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is always a good thing. Told everyone last year, do not sleep on Baker. He's reminding everyone he was the top pick once upon a time.
Yeah, his over-under touchdown passes was 22. I slammed that, and he's already got 4.
Beautiful.
I think we're going to be okay on that number.
I definitely think you're going to be okay with that, and I could see him, and we put this number out there, and I get it. It's a projection. It's early in the process. You said at 68 touchdowns. That's not going to happen. I don't think he's definitely going to do that. But 28 touchdowns during the regular season, over 30 touchdowns. Do you think he could eclipse that 30 touchdown mark in the regular season because he is so comfortable in this offense
and the
because you have so many weapons?
Too.
Right.
And Godwin is such a great red zone guy. You saw that pass. He was on the 1 yard line. He has the presence of mind to get the ball inside the pylon. The 2 catches that Mike makes in the end zone are phenomenal. And if you were watching training camp and we were out there every single day, the guy that was making moves in red zone was Jalen McMillan. He's always freaking open. And I said it before, he could have had 4 tonight.
Yes.
He could have had 4 touchdowns tonight easily.
Yeah.
The one he dropped, the one that was a penalty on, the one he got, and the one he got overthrown on.
And again, I don't understand, and I get it. It's an injury situation, but how do scouts miss on him so badly? Because you look at his talent, first and second, and I guess it goes back to Chris Godwin, right?
Yeah,
Chris Godwin's a third round pick.
Yeah.
And they look so much at speed instead of looking at film. Look at what he did at Washington when he was
their
healthy
go-to
at game
guy
speed.
at the end of last year.
Right.
Even with the other 2, great receivers they had on there. And Michael Penix, of course, you have a great quarterback that gets you the ball. But, Jalen's going to be phenomenal. And that's what I keep coming back to this. You see teams improve every year. How do they improve? Well, you hit on some free agents, but you always have to overpay for that.
Yeah.
So it's temporary. When you draft well, it sets up your entire team in terms of being able to go spend the money on guys that you want to keep, Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield Jr., and then you plug in. It's like Jason told us on the interview. We had him on the show last week on the Jp Peterson show, and he said, I told my scouts, look, we got to get through this. And the only way to do it is draft our ass off.
Yes.
So let's beat the bushes and let's go find some guys that can help us in these next 2 and 3 years. And he's gone 13 for 13 on draft picks in 2 seasons. That's unheard of.
Oh, you can curse on this. It's okay.
It's fucking unheard of. Are you kidding me? 13 out of 13. And it's not like these guys are scrubs. They're all starting.
Right.
For the most part. You had 5 rookies today play significant roles in their first game.
Yeah.
First game.
Yes.
Not halfway through the season. It's their first game. Jalen McMillan scored a touchdown, but was even a bigger factor because of those other ones that I talked about. Bucky Irving led your team in rushing. And it was like 7 yards a carry. Graham Barton led your offensive line as a starting center and played really, really well, moving 2 of the best defensive tackles in football. Braswell, I don't think he was bad today. We'll go look at the tape. Tyke did have a bad penalty, but for the most part, he made some plays as well. So, I mean, damn. And then you had undrafted free agents making it, and you got the second-year guys that are stepping up as well. So this is a key. When you can have draft classes like this and you start stacking them, this is when you become a really consistent winner in this league.
Going back to a second-year guy here, we're on the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television, in collaboration with the Jp Peterson Show.
You don't have to reset every 2 seconds.
I know, but I just want to.
Just keep talking.
Yaya Diaby, second year in.
Yeah.
I know he's coming in injured. We saw some flashes, but I feel like eventually he's going to be 100%. We saw him in training camp. We just know that the sky's the limit for this guy. What did you see from him today?
I saw him make a couple of plays and wreck some plays. You know, especially with these rush ends, it's not always the sacks, but just you got to watch the tape and see how they affected the game, which I will tonight, and we'll have much more tomorrow on the Jp Peterson Show in the morning.
See,
live,
you reset too.
10 to 12. I'm promoting, not resetting. I'm promoting live 10 to 12 on the same network.
That's right.
So I'm interested to see how he and Braswell play. That's going to be more tape study.
Yeah.
But Kalijah Kancey didn't play.
No.
Like, I expect Kalijah Kancey to be one of the top 3 defensive players on this team. Like, I expect that from him. That's the kind of camp that he had. He didn't even play today.
I know.
So, I mean, and Logan Hall didn't play either.
That's
it. So this team can get better up front, which they're going to need to be. Now the defensive backs, that's a problem. But it's early in the season. You can go get, as JC said, there's guys out on the street.
Xavier Howard, Patrick Peterson. Yeah, I mean, you don't know. Maybe they go within because that's what the Bucs have done.
Yeah.
But there's also a possibility if you see tape.
They've got some salary cap room.
Right.
They can go out and make a move. But that's, today is about the young kids played tremendously well. Baker played really, really well.
Yeah.
And, this is the first game in this Liam Cohen offense. They're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And I saw so many different plays. And it's not just, and how many perimeter runs did we have versus the running up the middle 18 freaking times for no yards that we saw in the Dave Canales offense. Just so frustrating.
Kirk Cousins is looking worse every game he plays.
Yeah,
and
I was laughing at this stuff. Like all these pundits are like, oh, the Atlanta Falcons. Oh my God, they got Kirk Cousins. I'm like, they didn't get Tom Brady.
Right.
They acted like they got Tom Brady. It's
right.
Kirk Cousins, for God's sakes. He's got one playoff win. He's made tons of money.
17 and 60 versus playoff teams all time. 17 and 60.
Let's drill down a little bit.
Right.
Throws a nice ball, and he's a good dude. I saw him on the Netflix special, but he ain't a needle mover like that.
He's not Matt Stafford. He's not Tom Brady. And every veteran quarterback you get is not going to be Tom Brady or Matt Stafford. They may turn into Russell Wilson, who, by the way, didn't play in this game.
And I tell you what, it's great getting the Falcons twice in 6 weeks.
Sure.
Because they're, what I saw today was not good.
No.
That was a mess.
Nope.
I mean, their defense, played a while against the Steelers, who couldn't score a touchdown.
Let's go out to James here. Hey, JP keeps saying all off season the Bucs D holds up. This offense lethal. Bucs win 12. So amazing how the Bucs are overlooked. This is a tight locker room, and I was so impressed with Liam's play calls. Talk about Liam
12,
again.
12. I know you've been saying 12, James.
Yes, you have.
And I think they can get to 11. I'm still sticking with 10. It's a tough season. Don't overreact to week 1, folks.
Sure.
And it was the Commanders. I mean, every team's tough in this league, and I think Jane Daniels is going to have a super season and be an amazing quarterback in this league. We'll look back on holding him to 88 yards rushing. It was a big thing.
Yes.
It really was.
And, look, it would be easy to overlook them in the first week. You kind of look at the Patriots and the Bengals. Nobody expected the Patriots. I get it. Burrow didn't get a chance to practice with his wide receivers, but there's upsets. The Texans nearly got beat today.
Yep.
So, again, it could happen.
Hey, today's you get the win over Washington, which was expected, but I think everybody had Atlanta penciled in to beat Pittsburgh at home, and that didn't happen. That's a big loss for them.
Shane says, hey, Peter, when Baker is healthy, he's a winner. Oklahoma, Cleveland, now Tampa Bay. Cleveland lost, Tampa Bay treasure. I want to go back to this because I told you in the press box that contract that the Cleveland Browns signed with Deshaun Watson was a albatross. Because ever since they let go Baker, who, by the way, won a playoff game, ever since they let go Baker and he went to Tampa Bay, he's won. And Deshaun Watson has been absolutely hot dog water.
I'd call it a fucking disaster.
It is. Well, you know what? I'm going to curse too. It was a fucking disaster.
I mean,
absolutely.
but that's what bad organizations do. They panic and they go and spend money like that on a guy with that kind of baggage. I mean, they get everything they deserve.
Yes.
And they got it handed. I thought Cleveland would beat Dallas today. I was wrong on that. Dallas, I from what I could tell, looked pretty good, but Cleveland's offense was just terrible.
Yeah.
And their defense evidently wasn't much either.
I wonder if Cleveland like to rub that a contract out of existence at this point. Rub it out, Rub it out.
Yeah, they should. Absolutely.
All right. Let's go out to Dave here. Cleveland screwed up big time. Now they're paying a huge price. Thanks, Cleveland. And Trevor Miller says Deshaun Watson was straight toilet water. So hot dog water, toilet water, whatever you want to call it. I'll go with this right here. And we got our son. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
All right, I'm going to wrap up my portion. If you'd like to stay out here on this beautiful evening.
It is beautiful. It's not hot.
How about it?
Yeah.
But I'll just say this is, I think, everything you could have expected week one. And people are going to say, well, you beat Washington. Look at the Patriots.
Yes.
Look at the upsets today, right?
Yes.
And you never know in this league what's going to happen. If they come out here and take care of your business like this, the Bucs, listen, if they don't get respect, I don't give a rip because there ain't no committee in the NFL that's going to keep them out of a playoff. And you earn what you get in this league, and they're going to keep stacking wins. So it doesn't. I don't give a rat's ass what the national pundit said, but it was so based on Baker Mayfield's no good.
Yeah,
and I think that's just such horseshit. The guy has done everything he's asked of. I mean, last year I think he was working with a hand tied behind his back with Dave Canales' offense. Quite frankly. Boy, do the Panthers suck. Thank you for taking him off our plate. Liam Cohen knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
And he just from the day he walked on campus, and every interview you do with him, I watch him out at practice. He's got a vibe about him. He's got a swag about him. I love it. And he knows what the hell he's doing. And he's just scratching the surface of what he can do with this offense.
Yeah.
They're so varied. They can hit you from so many. This is an offenses in the NFL when you can have versatility like they have, and they've added it with Jalen McMillan and Bucky Irving, 3rd and 5th round picks. Oh my God, Jason Light, what are you doing?
He's killing it.
You're killing the rest of the league, man. You're killing them.
Yes.
And I predict Elijah Klein will be starting by the end of the year too. You're gonna have 6 guys starting or making significant impacts out of this draft class alone. But they can gas you with Bucky. They have a great third receiver, so you got to get your third corner out on a guy that runs routes like freaking Paul Warfield. He's so good. He's so smooth and so deceptive in his route running. And then you got a monster in Chris Godwin who's back to his top 10 receiver in the league self. That's right. I said it back then. I say it now. He does it all. He blocks. He blocks like a madman. He catches everything thrown his way. I think he had 8 targets and 8 catches today.
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes.
Catches everything, catches it in traffic, catches it on 3rd down. He's freaking one of the best all-around receivers in the league. And then you got Mike Evans, who you cannot leave one-on-one or they will toast you every freaking time in the red zone. We didn't even talk about Cade Otton. Cade Otton was a non-factor today. And I'm telling you, he's going to have a big year as well. So, I mean, where are you going to stop? How are you going to where you can't stop at all.
Right.
And you got an offensive line that I think can make it all work and a quarterback who is so much better than people think he is. He's so much better than people think he is. I think by the end of this year, he's going to be noticed as a top 10 quarterback in this league.
And as he should. He's got the talent. He's got the ability. I think it's unfair by national media to continue
and his
to
leadership skills.
Right, to push this narrative. And we heard from Jason Light that he is, just paraphrasing, a direct reflection of that locker room. That's what you learned last year.
They love him.
You talk about Todd Bowles. It seems like, a lot of fans say he's not emotional. He showed the emotion. I know he's joking around. But ever since last year, when he needed that victory in Atlanta and he got it, when he needed that victory in Green Bay, he got it. The masterful game plan versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. I feel like Todd Bowles is more comfortable as a coach. He's just going to be himself. He doesn't care about being emotional. He doesn't care about trying to be John Gruden or BA because that's not who he is.
He's excited.
Yes, he is excited. There you go, right there.
He's excited.
Yes, exactly. It is. All right.
So great win for the Bucs. Now they go up to Detroit. What did the Lions do? They're playing
the Rams tonight.
That's right. Okay.
Matt Stafford coming in there, and we'll see. And that crowd is going to be unbelievable. It's a rematch from the divisional playoff game. And let's face it, JP, a couple plays here and there, and the Bucs are in the NFC Championship.
That's all right.
game.
It's all right. They're building. and they're stacking draft classes, and they're going to continue to climb. And that's what I love about this team right now. And they're just great dudes.
Yeah,
they're just great dudes, and they're so easy to root for. I mean, jump on this freaking bandwagon.
Yes,
it's going to be a fun ride.
I tell you what, we'll get you out of here on that, Mr. Jp Peterson.
All right, tomorrow morning from 10 to 12, we will be live. Nick Geddes will be joining me on the Jp Peterson Show. I'll be with Peter on Wednesday. You can always check in on the Sports Web and the Jp Peterson Show. Please go to at the Jp Peterson Show. That's my new Twitter. Please follow me there and like our YouTube page, the Jp Peterson Show, where you can see all this fantastic content. And if you'd like to sponsor this particular post-game show, we're looking for a sponsor because we'll be doing this after each and every home game, and the away games we'll be doing it live remotely. So if you want to sponsor this very popular, man, we got thousands of people. Look at that number.
216 people right now, you guys.
But thousands more on the other channels.
Yes.
So if you want to sponsor this great show as the Bucs roll through this season, this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Hit me up, JP at the JPPetersonShow.com. JP at the JPPetersonShow.com.
And
it'll get you paid even more money.
And that sounds good. Get you paid some more money. I tell you what, I'm going to wrap it up here because it's been a long day for me. For the great JP Peterson, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web, the Tampa Bay sports fans of the Jp Peterson Show, it's your time. Bucs win 37-20 over the Washington Commanders. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Okay.
You're pretty stoic. Don't show a lot of your emotion. What's the season opener like for you when you walk out of that tunnel? It's exciting!
You are now on video.
You're mean now.
You always have the butterflies. You always have